So do you think Pecco's underrated by people?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you know him well. Like
Yeah.
you've spent a lot of time around him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just know the ability that he has. He's not an in-your-face kind of guy, but his ability on a motorcycle is pretty phenomenal. And then and he does very subtle things that you don't see, but you don't see, but you do see. You know what I mean? It's just
Like only somebody that really knows.
that knows what he's doing on a bike, and like just the way he preps himself for corners and his whole riding style and just the way he goes about it is very different to the way I go about it or Mark goes about it, which is uniquely for everybody. But just some of the things he does on a bike, I'm thinking, fuck, I wish I could do that. You know, I wish I would prepare more. I wish I would be more out with my shoulders, and the way he turns the bike without using the lean angle, and the way that he does that to let's say eliminate a little bit the risk and the stress on the tire and stuff like that with getting the same benefit. Is really phenomenal.
So he's doing like less is more.
Less is more, but then getting to the same. Instead of him going out and around here, he's jumping straight across. You know?
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal rider in that way, and he's very user friendly with his body in the way that he doesn't force it. He lets it come to him in the way he's very like some riders, for example, you watch, for example, Jet looks very effortless.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like Bam Bam who
looks more effortless.
He's putting the work in, you know what I mean? Or even an Eli.
Yeah.
And Eli looks like he's putting the work in. Like, I mean, where was it? Arizona this year, I think. Was that when they went?
Yeah.
And fucked off?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're talking about San Diego.
It was San Diego.
Bro, that was wild.
When they passed Coop with 10 to go.
Yeah. And they just marched.
But, like, Eli was, especially there was a set of whoops where they were cupped out and, like, they had the big V in them. Big rut through the whole way. And Eli was just marching through the center, just manhandling the thing. And Jet was like
standing up through the rut
that
on
was
the inside
ridiculous.
too.
Yeah. And Jet was sort of like just doing his hop and just making it look effortless. And it was like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then that's the thing I feel with Pecco is Pecco's more of a Jet, a really finessey kind of the way he does it. It's just, I don't know how he does it. I don't know what it is about it, but it just looks fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. But probably just doesn't get the respect it deserves because it's not the Eli.
But even Eli, I think Eli was that for a very long time, was underrated as well.
True, eh?
You know, I think it's just not it's a different
enough time
it's
hasn't
just a different
gone past.
enough time hasn't gone past. It's just a different era, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the stuff he does on the bike is pretty phenomenal for me as a fanboy on the outside watching.
Yeah, and it's it's funny. Like he kind of was the guy. Obviously, won 2 titles in a row, and it was like very like tight between him and Jorge, and like so that it seemed like it was pretty open and up for grabs in a way. But he was the dude that was able to grab it twice, almost 3 times. So it's
and the year before that with Fabio, I mean, he lost that by bugger all as well. I mean,
so it's like if you look over time, you
can say it's nearly 4 in a row, but it's he didn't, but he did 2 in a row.
But that's a very consistent guy over a big block of time with a lot of changes in the sport. Essentially,
absolutely, and I think there's another change that's just happened with this whole Mark coming back on fire. He just reignited, so I think he'll react to it. And the thing I see with Pecco a lot as well is when he's sort of backed up against the wall, he can. That's when he does some of his best work.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be an interesting year. I can't wait to watch.
So before you were talking about how you've never seen a manufacturer go as hard as what Yamaha has. Mm-hmm. What's that look and feel like?
Just in terms of, first of all, recruitment, but then in terms of work, R&D behind the scenes, in terms of the projects that they've got on the go.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous the amount of effort they're putting into this project to, like I say, arrive back to the top, because at the end of the day, they won the championship in 21.
It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, but it seems like a fucking
lifetimes.
ago.
Yeah.
So they're muscling and doing some incredible things, both at the track and away from the track. So I'm looking forward to But at the end of the day, Rome wasn't built in a day, and they know that. And that was maybe some of the issues that we had with the last manufacturer.
Just trying too hard too soon.
No, but it's just there's no magic pill that you take and you're there.
Yeah.
Ducati didn't just take a magic pill and one day they were there.
Yeah.
It's the 1%.
Yeah.
Here, there, and you'll arrive. But it's not getting frustrated with here and say, fuck, we need to have a revolution,
Yeah.
Change what's going on. It's not that. It's a matter of it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And that was what Ducati did with Dovi. And, I feel that's what Yamaha is doing with Fabio. And hopefully me.
Yeah.
Involved, It's an awesome project to be a part of, and it reminds me an awful lot and they've managed to poach. They've managed to poach quite a few good boys from Ducati as well, which guys that I thought would never leave.
Really?
So that's pretty magical, and having those guys in the corner will definitely help speed up the process, let's say. And the biggest thing about them also, it's one thing to poach somebody from a different manufacturer. It's another thing to believe them. And it's another thing to trust them.
Trust what they say.
And trust their direction that they're leading your project in.
Yeah.
And that's a very hard thing to do in this somewhat political, somewhat,
Japanese.
But not even the Japanese, just in general, in terms of the tier of I'm the engineer, I build the bike, and then I'm an engineer, I do electronics, or I help with this or whatever. But he's got his own ideas. And if he doesn't agree with his ideas, chief engineer can just say, we're going this way. And then what have you hired him
And then
for?
why'd you hire the guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is something that they're doing, for the most part, I believe, very, very well in terms of following the direction, following the lead, and trying to try something new, trying to work in a different direction. Maybe, I wouldn't say reinvent the wheel, definitely. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just trying to try a different way of thinking and a different approach to the issues.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.